When it comes to cooking healthy meals for our families, there is always some degree of dissension among the ranks. The good news is that there are recipes that are very healthy, but the healthy nature of these recipes is somewhat disguised. What they do not know in these instances truly should not bring harm their way, outside of allergies, which should never be ignored. Healthy cooking is often difficult as most of us do not want to spend time planning and preparing meals that our families refuse to eat. At the same time, we want our families to be healthy, so we feel compelled to learn new and improved ways of cooking healthy foods for our family to enjoy, and unfortunately in some cases scorn. With weight and nutrition being known as the culprit in so many health conditions, it is impossible to ignore the importance of not only eating healthy ourselves, but also of teaching our children the importance of eating healthy. One way to ensure that your loved ones are in fact eating healthy is to make sure that you are cooking healthy and nutritious foods for them. This does not mean that you cannot enjoy the occasional calorie splurge, or even that you shouldn't. The key to cooking healthy is learning to control portions and understanding the importance of moderation. For those that are hoping to incorporate healthy cooking habits into their daily routines, there are no more resources available than ever before in order to assist you in those endeavors. You can seek the services of a professional nutritionist. Your doctor can offer advice. You can find all kinds of books on healthy eating, cooking, and living at your local library, and the internet is an outstanding source of all kinds of information when it comes to leading a healthier lifestyle all around. There are many books and magazines that are filled with recipes that encourage healthy cooking and eating habits. If you truly love to cook, then there is no shortage of recipes that you can try out along the way. The really good news is that you can incorporate healthy cooking into your cooking routine whether you are cooking for one or a household of 10. There are many that will argue that cooking healthy food costs more than cooking the prepackaged foods that pack on the calories and additives. The truth of the matter is that when you compare the costs with the medical bills of the future for failing to do so, they seem rather slight by comparison. Yes, good food costs more money. In many cases, that is a simple fact of life. However, by learning portion control and eating the proper portions, you just may discover that you are actually spending less as you adjust to the proper amounts of food you should be consuming in order to maintain a healthy and active lifestyle. Cooking healthy isn't an overnight change. It is a lifestyle change that should be implemented one step at a time. You do not have to go into your kitchen and throw out every little thing that you deem unhealthy. Only work to not buy more of these items once they've been used. Make wiser decisions when purchasing fats for food preparation, and you will discover that you've made a vitally important step in the process of incorporating healthy cooking and eating habits in your home. It's those small steps you take towards your goal of cooking healthy foods for your family that will matter far more than any giant leap. Before you know it, you will find that you all have more energy and a better sense of overall health than you would have imagined before changing your cooking habits. If that isn't enough to encourage you, however, you can always check out the excuse to go shopping for new clothes after you drop a size or two. Italian cooking in American kitchens. Most of us have found some sort of Italian cuisine that has become a favorite for our families and ourselves. Unfortunately, far too many of us discount the possibility of bringing Italian cooking into our very own kitchens for fear that many of the recipes are far too difficult. The truth is that learning to cook Italian food just might make your home the favorite drop-in dining spot for friends and family all over. Believe it or not, most great Italian recipes have an easier version that can be made with very similar effects when it comes to flavor and aroma. Also, despite the commercials of old, all Italian cooking does not require an entire day of simmering in order to achieve great flavor. Though you do not have to let your friends and family in on that little secret. Be a martyr for flavor, and they will love you even more. You do not have to let anyone in on your best-kept secrets when it comes to preparing these often simple dishes. The biggest challenge that most Americans face when it comes to Italian cooking is basically learning a new set of essential ingredients. The cheese, meats, or grains that are used in their creation most often identify or define Italian cuisine. It's the combination of these primary ingredients that create some of the most distinctive flavors on Earth. Learn about these ingredients. Identify the flavors and study the combinations of flavors, and you should be able to not only follow many great Italian recipes but also to invent a few of your very own Italian-inspired recipes. The greatest thing when it comes to cooking Italian food is that most of these dishes are rather difficult to destroy. This of course does not indicate that it cannot be done, only that it isn't as simple as with some of the more delicate cuisines around the world. Italian food is durable and flavorful, but for the most part not too terribly delicate when it comes to flavor. You can go a little heavy with some spice or cheese without completely ruining the dish in most instances. If you are anything like me, this is a regular occurrence when cooking and one of the reasons I enjoy cooking Italian food so much. Whether you are a beginner when it comes to the culinary arts or a seasoned pro, there is something that will provide the appropriate challenge for you when it comes to Italian cooking. Take a look around. There are recipes in abundance across the internet, at your local library, in specialty cookbooks, and even in your favorite blockbuster best-selling novels. Another thing you should keep in mind when cooking Italian food is that nothing seems to bring out the flavor of Italian food better than a good bottle of wine to match. Perhaps this is the reason that it is difficult to ruin an Italian meal. No matter how bad it is, the good wine paired with it will erase all ill will and tastes in very short order. You will want to spend a little time researching and studying the science, though some will argue that this is truly an art form that goes along with pairing a good bottle of wine with the right flavor combination when it comes to Italian cooking. Once you've mastered this, there is nothing to prevent you from being the diva of all things Italian when it comes to food preparation. The most important thing for you to remember when cooking Italian food is not to take the cooking too seriously. Good Italians know that the enjoyment of the meal is far more important than the process of preparing the meal. Make your meal an event with plenty of time for pleasant conversation and enjoyment of your company in between courses. You should also never rush a good Italian meal, or you will find that all your efforts cooking Italian will be for naught, as the true pleasure of Italian cuisine has been lost somewhere in translation.